Hey, welcome to 23 Degrees Sideways, Coyote in the Highlands. In the Highlands. I feel like I need to do some more construction in this space and get things out just a little bit so I can leave periodically. You know, it's one of those funny things, but complexity for simplicity. Simplicity. Let's think about simplicity. I've been feeling it a lot. My body is going through some changes with the project that I'm doing, the diet project and the health project, and of course that affects your brain, which has some effect on your mental state, no matter how enlightened you might be. Body, brain, mind, soul, all connected, at least in this lifetime. And, you know, it's really nice that you can wake up and be aware and get free of that to a certain extent, but your body still has an effect. And as my body is getting to this point, getting the improvements and back into a state of health over time, I'm noticing a drive to simplicity. And it hit really hard yesterday, and it's really floating up to the surface. It's really funny because 28, I missed half a decade. 28 years ago, I had a series of things. Some of it is woo-woo, which you won't believe in, and some of it isn't woo-woo, which you might believe in, whatever. But I had a series of things, including tarot card readings, phone calls, just a whole bunch of stuff said, hey, you need to move back to Arizona. And I ignored that at my peril for a long time. Here I am, I'm back in Arizona, but I'm not in the valley. You know, I'm not doing the simplified life that was what it looked like at the time. You know, there was a very seasonal life aspect that was supposed to be what I was going back for. And I'm not there. You know, I'm up here on a homestead. I've got a bunch of stuff to build, and a lot of what I'm building is actually stuff that I can lock up so I can take off for a couple weeks at a time. But I don't know. I don't know if this isn't a project that's going to be put on hold several times a year. Living situations are the really hard part. I could go down to a part of the valley, the East Valley, Northeast Valley, more Central East Valley, near the Green Belt with the hiking trails. I could get back there and I could spend a significant amount of time on my body, on my soul work, on my projects, you know, if I had a very simple living situation. Most of our traveling down there has not been simple living situation. It's driving 30, 40 miles each way from a camping site to, hang out on the green belt or in the hiking trails and stuff, and not really having an office space, not having space to type, space to film, not having the access to upload videos or something. So that's very difficult, and if I want to do just the body work, not record it, not document it, just run around and do it, I could do that. Honestly, I could do that out of a backpack, There are people out there, just while you're in the middle of yelling at homeless people every day in your California city, there are people out there who do this intentionally as part of a life adventure. Not everyone is seriously broken, so just keep an eye on that. You don't know where people are in their heads. So, a constant state of attack on others is not necessarily a healthy thing for you. Constant state of judgment on others is not necessarily a healthy thing for you. I have to remind myself of that also because I am somewhat polarized on the freedom versus anthill future of humanity game. And that involves judging the actions of people. You just need to not judge the people. Anyway, that's a hard one right now, I honestly feel I would be okay. I've done this before and I know what I'm talking about. People tell me, oh, you don't know. I've done a lot of this before, at various times, various phases, and I think I'd be okay right now in a studio within walking or biking distance of the Greenbelt and really working on this for a while. You know, that's kind of an interesting thing. That drive, that pull is there, and that's a really, really interesting thing because I'm in a stage of development where I want to follow my pulls and my desires, and I'm kind of locked in up here a little bit. So it might be time to get rid of a lot more stuff. I've already gotten rid of a lot of stuff, but get rid of a lot more stuff and kind of clean up and see what happens, you know. See if some of the other people in the family group want to stay up here periodically or what. Yeah, interesting. I thought I'd, in line with taking you along for the ride on this journey, I thought I'd go ahead and express that. This is a very strong, not sudden. It grows. It grows. It doesn't have cycles, but it has waves of growth, and it's a very strong growth right now. Very strong pull to just get simplified down even further and do more work. I'm not very good at staying in one place, and I notice that my bliss and my joy and my happiness is much increased when I'm going somewhere. And it can be walking, it can be biking, it can be driving. A lot of times it's driving because there's a lot of stuff that's spread out very far. And mobility is very key to the human soul. Well, the human psychology. I don't know about the soul, but the psychology, freedom of movement, freedom to just get the fuck out is probably one of the 4 or 5 core fundamental human freedoms throughout our evolution and development. We've always, until settlement agriculture happened, we've always been able to just leave, just take off. And life wasn't as harsh as people will tell you. Hunter-gatherers, but the hunters actually did a fairly decent job of staying alive. Really nice life expectancy if you made it to adulthood. So, there's something to be said for the mobility. And that's it. I'm really struggling with this. Not struggling in the sense that I'm all emotionally torn up. It's the logistics, because one of these, something's going to happen. We'll see what happens, all right? Stay sideways, have a fantastic morning, and I hope that you can contact your soul, your heart's desire, and figure out a way to make it happen.